said, if you follow me to this truck, you gonna get something you ain't looking for. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I'm your girl Kimberly, hence the name of the channel. I am Kimberly P. P stands for my middle initial. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when I post another video. If I slow my words down and say it slow, I get it correct the first time. But I want to sit here and say it fast like I'm just Speedy Gonzalez. But anyway, y'all, as y'all read by the title, this is gonna be a story time about this is gonna be a story time about how I met this dude over the road and he turned into a psycho. I don't want to say he turned into a psycho. He probably was already a psycho, but I put the label on him as psycho. So anyway, let's get into the story. All right, so this was like I want to say my second year of driving. I probably was out here driving maybe 2.5 years. I think it was. What's the last year? 4. Yeah, I was out here driving a little bit over 2 years. So anyway, and I was teen driving at the time. So I want to say I can't even remember what state it was. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I was in some state out west, like out there, probably like Utah or Wyoming, one of them states out there. I can't remember exactly what state it was, but I was way out that way because I was going my way to California. I know I was going, but I don't know what state I met the dude in. Anyway, I was driving. My teen person was in the back or whatever. And I pulled up to the fuel stop. And normally when I pull up to the fuel stop, I always just like get my fuel or whatever, then pull up and then go inside, use the restroom, wash my hands, and get whatever food or whatever snacks I need to get or whatever. But at this time, I had to use the restroom bad. I've been holding it for a minute. So I pulled into the fuel aisle, popped my brakes, and hurried up and got out and ran to the restroom. Now, on my way to the restroom, it was a Love's truck stop. So anyway, if any of y'all familiar with Love's truck stop, Love's, they drink cooler machine is backed up in the back by the restrooms. So I goes and use the restroom. Well, on my way to the restroom, I noticed this tall dude by the coolers looking for something to drink or whatever. And he looked at me, we looked at each other, whatever, but I kept going. I was on a mission, child. When I got to use the restroom, I got to use the restroom. I'd be on a mission. So I was telling it to the bathroom. So I get to the bathroom, use the restroom, whatever, wash my hands, look at myself, straighten my hair, fix my clothes, see what I look like or whatever, and get ready to come back out. Now on my way back out, tell me why what name we can give him. We're going to say his name Adam. Honestly, I don't even remember his name, to be honest with you, but so, Adam, he was standing outside the women's restroom like we came in together, and he was making sure I came out straight or whatever. I came out of the restroom good or whatever. Nobody bothered me when I came out of the restroom. That's how he was standing by the women's restroom door. So when I opened the door to come out, the door almost hit him. But he stepped back or whatever, and I kind of like walked past him. I probably got 2 steps in front of him, past him or whatever. And he was like, "Excuse me." And I kept going. He's like, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I was looking. Mind y'all, I'm still walking in the process because I'm thinking about I'm sitting in this darn fuel aisle holding up a lane, and I done came in here and used the restroom, and somebody might be behind me, so I'm trying to hurry up and do what the heck I need to do and get the heck up out of there. So he was like, "Excuse me." I started turning around as I'm still walking, y'all, going out the door. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good." He was like, "What's your name?" That's when I stopped, and I was like, "So and so," and he was like, he gave me some type of compliment or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, you mind if I said, "I'm kind of in a rush because I'm in the fuel aisle. I need to go pump my fuel or whatever." Da, 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 da. He was like, "Oh, my bad. You mind if I get your number or whatever?" I don't know how he asked, but he asked for my number anyway. I ended up giving him my number. So at first I was hesitant because I was like, "What?" For one, I'm like, "You waited by the restroom for me to come out to ask for my number?" So I'm like, "Oh, you interested?" So I was like, I'll give you a little chance or whatever. So I gave dude my number. Ended up going back outside, pumping my fuel. I want to say, once I left that truck stop, he ended up calling me. We ended up talking on the phone, probably like later on that evening or something like that. Don't ask me what the conversation was about because I don't remember. So we probably had a conversation probably like 3 or 4 times after the fact I gave him my number, and we met up in Utah, Wyoming, one of the two. And he worked for a different company, y'all. So he didn't work for the same company I worked for at the time. So we talked 3 or 4 times on the phone or whatever. And the reason I I ended up freaking ghosting him because one of our conversations, he said something I didn't like. I can't remember exactly what it was or what he said, but he said something out of nature that I didn't like. And I was like, oh, yep, red flag, and I cut it dry. I blocked his number, and I just didn't answer no phone calls from him no more. Tell me why. He would get different numbers. I don't know if he was using the app or whatever, but he would get different numbers and call me from my phone. And I always tell people, like, my people who really got my real number or whatever, I'm like, if you calling me from a different number, it's not saved in my phone that I got, call me twice back to back, because that's the only way I'm going to answer. If you call me one time and expect me, I'm not going to answer because I don't know the number, and it might be somebody I don't want to talk to. So I always tell people to call me twice, and the second time I pick up the phone or whatever. So the first time he did it, he called me, and I'm like, who the heck number is this? And I didn't know who, so I ignored it. Ended up calling me back to back. Second time I picked up, I was like, hello. Once I figured out who it was, I was like, stop calling me. I'm like, I ain't talked to you in a couple of weeks. Like, really? So he's like, what's going on? I said, yeah, this ain't gonna work for me. You said something I didn't like. I kind of explained to him what the reason was or whatever, why I was ghosting him. And he was like, okay, just that and third. But he wasn't trying to get it, child. He wasn't trying to get it. So anyway, I hung up the phone to him because he wouldn't get it. I said, well, shoot, I blocked this number too. When I tell you I blocked about 3 or 4 numbers that he used to call me from. So I want to say like 2 weeks went by after that incident. And I was in, what state I was in? I think I was in Oklahoma. No, Missouri. I was in Missouri. And I was at another Love's. And I had pulled up to the fuel thing. I already hadn't got my fuel and stuff like that. But I had them pulled up and I was going to the store to get me some snacks and use the restroom, wash my hands, do my little routine or whatever. So I was in Love's and I was coming out the restroom to come back out to the truck. And I get this phone call. And I didn't answer because I didn't know the number. But they ended up calling again. I still didn't answer because I didn't know the number. They called the third time. And I was like, who the heck is this? So I picked up the phone. So I was like, hello? It was like, hey. Now, backstory. At that time, y'all, I had a couple of niggas on my roster. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I had a couple of people on my roster. I wasn't just talking to one person at the time. I had a couple of people on my roster. So, I mean, not saying that I was fucking all of them, but I had a couple of dudes on my roster that, called me time to time, see how I was doing or whatever. Mainly truck drivers or whatever. And we'd have a conversation. Somebody, just somebody to talk to while you out here on the road, like driving late night, early morning, whatever. So when I answered the phone, I was like, hello, mind y'all, it's been 3-4 weeks since I talked to a crazy dude. So I'm like, hello? And he was like, hey. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey. And I'm sitting here trying to see who voice it is, put the voice with the name. Y'all know how y'all don't know who number it is and you don't want to say the wrong name or whatever when they call. So I'm like, hey. And he was like, you coming out the store, ain't it? I'm like, huh? I was like, who is this? They was like, he would never say his name. I said, who is this? They was like, yeah, you at the Love's, right? I said, who is this? They was like, I'm about to come up there. So mind y'all, I was walking to the truck. I was already outside in the fuel. I was walking across the fuel. I was getting back to my truck because I was on the end. When he said, I'm about to come see you, I didn't know who he was. I couldn't put the voice with whoever the heck it was. So I was like, what? Who is this? They would never tell me who I said, yeah, I said, meet me in the store. So I ended up turning back around, going back in the store. I was like, whoever this is, they gonna have to see me in front of all these people because you're gonna act the ass. You're gonna act the ass in front of all these goddamn people. So I turned back around, goes in the store and wait by the little entrance or whatever. When I seen dude who I blocked come through that door, like, I gave him this face. I said, really? And I went out the opposite door. Now, when I was going out the opposite door, he was following me, trying to get my attention. Like, hey, let me talk to you. You know how dudes do. I said, if you follow me to this truck, you gonna get something you ain't looking for. But he followed me like to the third fuel aisle, and then he stopped and ended up going back to back to inside the store or whatever. I said, what? And then when he went back in the store, he still was blowing my phone up from different numbers. I said, what type of psycho crap? Like, why are you still hounding me? I haven't touched this dude. I haven't been on a date with this dude. All I gave this dude was my number and some conversation for 3-4 days. And he acting like this. I said, the heck? I said, oh no, you are a psychopath. Like, I ain't even touched you yet. You acting like this? Imagine how you would have acted if I touched you. Child, I would probably been in the damn tree some goddamn well. But yeah, this is a lesson, y'all. Female drivers, watch who y'all give y'all number out to. At the time, I was hot girl. Right now, I'm cooling. I ain't really looking for no relationship. I mean, I get somebody to call me phone conversation or whatever like that. But other than that, I ain't looking for. I'm dating me right now. And if a dude come up to me, ask me, hey, how you doing? Can I get your number? I'm like, how much you got? They gonna be like, huh? I'm like, how much you got? They gonna be like, what you mean? How much you got to waste my time? How much money you got to waste my time? Time is money. You offering money. If you ain't offering no money, then I can't do that for you. That's the quickest way to get them out your face. You start asking for money, they turn the other way. That'll probably turn them off, to be honest with you, but I don't give a darn because I ain't interested. I ain't looking for nobody right now. I'm enjoying my single life. But yeah, I just thought that was so funny. I actually forgot about that dude until I was talking to one of my homeboys and I was telling them about a story. I don't even know how that story even came up, how the dude came up, but I said, I got to do a story time and tell my people about this because that was crazy. I ain't never in my life experienced something like that. I'm like, you got to be stalkerish. Just stalker vibes. Like, what? And then the dude was younger than me. He was like 20. I was 30 at the time, I think. 29 or 30 at the time. And he was like 27, 28. He was like 2 years younger than me. So he was... And he wasn't no ugly dude. He was a nice looking dude. I mean, he was tall. He was a nice looking dude. For you to act like that, that make you so ugly in my eyes. But yo, watch who y'all get your numbers out to, child, because you never know, you might get a stalker. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed my little story time. If you haven't already, go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on so you be notified when I post another video. And for all y'all that watch me and don't leave no comment, y'all can speak. Y'all ain't got to look and don't speak. Y'all can leave a comment down and say, hey, I speak back. I don't sit there and just read the comment, don't say nothing. I speak to y'all. I like to have a conversation. But for the ones who do, hey! I'll see y'all next week.